Good morning. My name is Nurzeka binti Zulkifli with the matrix of 223022167, and today I'll be presenting on the link between education, population trends, social inequality, gender and poverty, and also with examples of countries that have made progress despite high population growth. Let's begin with how education impacts population trends and social inequality. In countries like Bangladesh, we've seen how increasing female education directly lowers fertility rates. In 1975, Bangladeshi women had an average of 6.3 children, but by 2014, that number dropped to just 2.3. And why is that? Because more women were completing secondary education or higher, as you can see in the graph above. However, access to education is not equal. In many places, especially developing countries, students from low-income households are far less likely to enter higher education. In France, only 28% of students from the bottom income quintile attend higher education compared to 72% from the top. And when population grows rapidly, the strain on basic services like schools, hospitals, and housing gets worse. And this adds to social inequalities. As you can see in the graph, there's a difference between before growth and after growth. The next thing is I'm going to talk about gender inequality and poverty in high population regions. Now let's look at gender inequality in poverty. Globally, women are more likely to live in poverty than men. In the United States of America, 54.9% of women are living in poverty, while men are only 45.1%, as you can see in the pie chart that I entered in the video. But the problem is much worse in high population regions. 63% of the world's extremely poor women and girls live in sub-Saharan Africa, while over 20% are in Central and Southern Asia, as you can see in the pie chart. What causes this? One key reason is limited access to education and jobs. In England, for instance, a study showed that teenage girls who experienced severe menstrual pain missed more school, up to 1.7 extra days a year, and performed worse in exams. This shows and proves how gender-specific health issues can have long-term economic effects. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the countries that reduce poverty despite high population growth. Thankfully, some countries have managed to break the cycle. We take Vietnam as for example. Between 1993 to 2014, Vietnam reduced poverty from almost 60% to just 13.5%, lifting almost 40 million people out of poverty. They did this through investment in education, agriculture, and also export industries. As you can see in the chart I put, there's clearly a decrease in the poverty rate. Another example we can take is Ethiopia. Between 2010 and 2011 to 2015 to 2016, urban poverty dropped from 25.7% to 14.8%. That is thanks to improvements in infrastructure and agriculture. There's a chart also I put for more understanding. So in conclusion, education plays a crucial role in reducing fertility rates and also social inequality. But without addressing gender inequality and structural poverty, especially in high population regions, progress will be uneven. But we must take the positive side of it. Vietnam and Ethiopia prove that with the right policies, it's possible to reduce poverty even when populations are growing fast. What is the key to this? The key is targeted investment and inclusive development. That's all from me. Thank you.